Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in. One holler at you. It's so funny to me that some of y'all got my little be teasing me about my AA. Tony Gaskins here, popping in. Y'all got to forgive me now because I'm driving and it is 3 a.m. So we just got back from the trip with the boys, and it was a very great trip. You know, they had a lot of life lessons just about professionalism and promptness, gratitude, and personal branding and perseverance, character. A lot of deep conversations with me and the coaches, and us, speaking into their life and having say so and input. And thanks to my supporters, if you are one of my supporters who so graciously clicked the link in the description, then I owe it all to you. I really thank you, because for the boys it was all expense paid. We have guys from different walks of life, and there were some guys who was able to go and buy a couple of snacks themselves, but not everybody is in that position. And so to be able to take these guys and pay for their flights, and now I'm gonna get ahead of it. If one of y'all is a travel agent, then y'all can help me out. Nah, I'm not gonna be using it if you get the flights for the same price and the hotels for the same price I get them for online. Like some of y'all, the multi-level marketing travel agents, I'm all right, I'm straight. But if you get you a little discount, if you get me a discount, then let's talk about it. But I'm gonna get ahead and go ahead and book our May trip. We got a May trip to Cincinnati, Ohio. We'll book that in advance. Save us a lot of money. To God be the glory for blessing us to be in that position. So I'm gonna do the right thing as soon as I finalize a roster. And it was a good time. We had 11 boys. That's 11 boys. That's a bit too much for me to travel with. Each go round, and then we're gonna have some parents traveling as well. And what we're trying to do, but it's a bit much. It's one of those things to where I always try to go above and beyond, and sometimes I offer too much, offer to do too much, give too much, and that could come back to bite you. But I'm believing God that it can work out and we able to do it. Y'all forgive me, I'm a little distracted because I probably need to get me some gas. Probably could get home, but we'll be pushing it. And I hate to try to get some gas when I just started filming the video. But what I'm doing right now, I had to drive. We got in at 1:25 a.m. and I had to hire my driver in my Sprinter van to pick up my dad, one of the other coaches, and three of the players to take them home. And so that's a cost because I got to pay the driver. And then I had to take one of the players who was a new player this week, and his parents are of means and love him so much they booked him to go with us this same week, which the flight was over $1,200, and they booked and paid for his flight, and then I covered his hotel room, with another player, which was about $300 a night. And the only reason why I'm saying numbers, just sharing this with you, just so y'all understand, and just in transparency with my supporters, because we have guys out here who are online raising funds and never have taken one trip with young men out the state, but have raised millions of dollars for so-called schools and whatnot, and just living out the money. And so I just want to share that with y'all, so you know. And if you go on my social media, you'll see the highlights, for some of my players, and we got more highlights coming throughout this week. So y'all gonna see that we really were in Kansas City. We really were in Kansas City, and we from Florida. So just think about that, being 15, 16, 17 years old, and a black boy coming from humble beginnings, and to be flown out the state, flown across the country to play a game you love, and to get life lessons at the same time. And so next time it's going to be a little more strict. This time I let them kind of kick back and have them some fun. It's going to crank up, and become more and more, I wouldn't say stringent, but it'll become more and more structured as far as they schedule and the timing and the things of that nature on the discipline side of things. Just, phones down and all of that. And so we working through that right there. And we building, and I'm learning as I'm going, doing these types of trips, and these boys getting a blessing, because another young man, my niece's boyfriend, was telling my wife that his team costs $5,000 to be on, and when they go out of state, they gotta be 4 to a room, so that's 2 boys per bed. So that's how they coaches also making a living, probably, because $5,000. But I guess it depends on how many tournaments they're gonna be doing. But just think about that. Whereas my team is all expense paid. They don't have to pay to be on the team. And if they like an actual rostered player, then they don't have to pay, at all. And then some parents will help out, or if their player son is like developmental player, on the developmental roster, they'll help out. But to the tune of maybe $500 or something like that, nothing crazy. And just the flights alone on this trip, one of the flights cost me $1,200, others cost $1,000. Y'all gotta forgive me, I'm got to get a little bit of this here gas. And and so lock my door. These boys coming out here, walking around. Strap out the car. Gotta walk around 3 o'clock in the morning. And so, and then today, just capping off the trip, we did they stopped right there. Yeah, y'all got to keep it moving, boy. I don't like that stagnation. Get over here and get this scrap on me. I do not like that stagnation. Not like that stagnation. Like y'all niggas. And they out here loud talking too. It's like y'all keep walking now. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. So I had to get that scrap on me now. Just take that safety off of there, because they walking around with their hoodies on and hands all in their pockets and standing still instead of making movements. Instead of keep moving. Like, what y'all standing still talking behind me for now? And so capped it off with Dave and Buster's, and the bill on that was $1,300 because I tipped 30%, and so the bill was $1,000, and I tipped $300. And I know a lot of times people think like, oh, you ain't got to do that, but that's a scarcity mindset. And so what I think about is like the person that's serving, 14 of us, and taking all them orders, bringing all the drinks, bringing all their food, and doing all of that. And so like, if I'm taking, and that was with game cards, I got the boys $51 game cards, and there was 8 of them that was with us at that time. And so, it was one of those things. So that took up, that was, $400 right there. And then the food. And what I say that to say, the young lady who was helping us, I told her, I said, do you get to keep out the whole tip? It was me and my daddy standing there talking to her, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, well, I'm gonna tip you $300. And she was like, I said, so spend wisely. And she was like, yeah, I got to pay my taxes. I got to pay back taxes. It all go to my taxes. And I'm like, wow, you got to pay in as a waitress? She was like, yeah, I have to pay in. So, that'll take and pay off. And I'll tell you this, sometimes it's painful to do that. Like sometimes when I tip like that, on a bill big like that, I could take and say, oh, I'm gonna put a cap on it. But when giving and having an abundant mindset, when you only do it when it's comfortable, then it's not really an abundant mindset. So if the bill is $10 and I tip $3, that $3, that's still a lot for a $10 thing, because it's a third of what I'm tipping. But I believe in giving, and so even like with my tithes, my 10% that I give to the ministry, meaning to the work of the Lord, I don't put a cap on it. Like this year, I stopped counting how much I give, to people in need. Like leading up to this, I would always keep track of it. And I realized what I was doing is I was putting a cap on God. I was putting a cap on my giving. Because it's like, oh, I done gave X amount, but I done only made this amount. So I've already tithed 20%. So I ain't even got to give a dime. I'm not finna give another dime. Anybody else ask me for something, I'm saying no. And that was shifting my heart, because I had more to give. And I was in a place, and I would be blessed to where I could give more, and I would say no. And what I had to go to is not the dollar amount, but the ground that I'm sowing on. Am I sowing on good ground? So I was sowing on grounds of fornication, people who fornicating, people who idolatrating, people who hating, perpetrating, scaminating. And I'm like, you know what? These gifts is in vain, because it's bad ground, and I know it's bad ground. So what am I doing? And I'm like, what is this on my thigh? It's a cold piece of steel. Gotta have to put that little thing over when them boys was inching around me. Like, come on now, boy. Get your life together now. Y'all got to go on in the store now. Go on in the store. Y'all go on in the store now, boy. You getting out of hand. And so this here car got a little door, got a little handle, like a little door up under the door handle. It flip open. It's like, that's exactly what that's for. What you got? What you want? What else for you finna put over there in this handle? They say, well, hey, you got to be ready. And so it was capping my giving. So when I did that, I'm like, man, woo, this thing hurt a little bit now. But then I thought about it. I say, this a young lady. She was real petite. So she looked way younger than what she probably was. And so I'm like, and she waiting tables. Like, that's humble. That's a humble job. Like, you waiting tables. Like, she's not an accountant. She's not an RN. She not, one of these HR manager, like my clients, surgeon, doctor, gastroenterology, ophthalmology. Like, I got clients who do all these cool things, and this young lady here wait tables. So I say, it's another somebody that can go and boom. That $300 might not mean a lot to them because they make $100,000. But imagine somebody that's waiting tables for a living, and they nearing 30. And just where they could be at, and what they might be thinking, and how they might be comparing their life, and how they might get talked to sometimes, how they might get treated sometimes, how they might get blamed for the food or whatever, and then people shortchanging them on the tip. People got a $400 bill and giving them $10 tip. And so I look at it just like stretching. This is a stretching season, stretching the mind, and being good to people, being a blessing, because God is a blessing to us. And I had late checkout on all the rooms. I booked all the rooms through Marriott. And so I had a late checkout, and they didn't pay attention to that in the system. So they checked us out of all our rooms. And so we had to reset all our keys, and it was probably 10 rooms or something, 9-10 rooms. And so I had asked my daddy if he had some cash, and I gave the young lady $20, even though she already getting hourly pay. I probably gave her more in that 5 minutes of work that she had to do than she make an hour. But I did that though just to say thank you. And I'm sharing this with you to give you secrets. It's not about it ain't about money. It ain't about how much money you give. But what I'm saying is about your mindset. Do you have a scarcity mindset? Do you have a limited mindset? Or do you have an abundant mindset? And that's going to determine, because see, God can't bless a limited mind. If you put limits on God, like, I didn't know how we was going to pay for this trip, because so many expenses came up leading up to the trip that it ate a hole in the budget, because we had our families that we helping have day-to-day issues come up, like real life issues was coming up. And I extended myself in ways that I didn't have to. Like, I could have left people in their struggle, but we helped the family get out of living with a family member and get into them a house, and helping them now get into a better school, help them get a mode of transportation, help them get furniture. So it's real life expenses coming up that we were helping with, and it ate into the travel budget. And I say, and I told this story already to y'all, but for those of y'all who missed it, you about to get it. If you heard it, you're gonna hear it again. Because I can't stop bragging on the Lord and how good God is. And God softens the hearts of kings. He softened the heart of killers. He softened the heart of drunkards. He softened the heart of haters. He softened the heart of idolaters. Like, God could soften the heart of anybody to get a blessing to you if that's who he choose to use. And God softened the heart of one of my donors who had donated $10,000. And then the donor came back and donated $20,000. Did you hear what I just said? Came back and reluctantly, begrudgingly, disgruntledly doubled their first donation. So I don't even think the donor knew why he was supporting, because I don't know if he believes in the power of God. I don't know if he knows God like that. Now, he know God through me, and he know I believe in God. But I don't know really where his walk is with the Lord. And I'm talking about him, and he might even see this video. But I pray blessings over his life. I'm talking about I pray tenfold. And deep down, see, he would never tell me. He told me one time, he said, this was years ago, because he'd been supporting me for years. He said, I will admit, since I've been helping you, things have gotten better for me. Like I've gotten some pretty big opportunities, like some things, and that's my prayer. Lord, let the folks that you soften their heart to support the ministry you have me in, let them receive a supernatural blessing. That'd be my prayer. Because I never want nobody to sow on bad ground. That'd be my prayer. So I say that to say, the week of, like, what carried us through this week was, so when I got the check, I got it a day late because I didn't go to the mailbox the day before. But guess how about the day we flying out, a portion of the check clears. And then how about I had miscalculated. So I was thinking the hotel rooms was gonna cost me around $7,000 cash. $7,000. Not including what I had already spent in cash. I mean, not spending cash in points, because points is cash you done spent, and they give you, a little kickback. So it's still cash, because you could cash it out for money, meaning American Express points that I transferred. And so I could cash them points out for cash, but instead I transferred them and used them to pay for the hotel. And I was able to get 3 of the rooms free for the 2 nights. And I was able to get, and I cut it short one night. So instead of coming in Thursday night and playing Friday, came in Friday night, stayed Friday night, Saturday night. So had 9 rooms. And I had to share a room with my daddy. And I'm so self-conscious and so introverted. I don't like sharing a room with nobody, because I don't like having to use the bathroom with them paper thin walls and somebody right there while I have to use the bathroom. I don't like that. I do not like that. So I was about to spend $500 a night just to have my own room. But I say, let me humble myself, because this ain't got nothing to do with me. Let me humble myself and, stay in the room, share a room versus big time, because I will big time when it's on my dime, on my dollar, but this is organization, so I didn't feel right to do that. Although some executive directors and CEOs of organizations will do that, I didn't feel right to do that. And so I took it. We shared a room, and the hotel come with breakfast. That was amazing. I'm gonna be staying at them type of places all the time now. So it had the place, they had breakfast there. So that was great. And it was only 2 other teams there too, because it was an expensive hotel, $300 to $500 a night, but it was within it was 2.5 miles from the facility. It said 1 mile on the app. So I did that because it's a welcome to Tony Gaskins Elite, and I want the families to know that I'm not trying to skimp and cut corners, and whatever I'm short in donations, I'll take out of our pocket, my wife and I. And my wife has been supporting me, and she been, grimacing along the way, just like, ouch, this is hurting, this is a lot, why did you sign up for this? But she know my heart, and she know I'm a giver. And I cash out her $1,000 today, and maybe $500 a couple days ago, and $300 a couple days before that, out of my earnings. So I take care of her, and she see how I take care of her. And for our anniversary, she didn't post it, but I blessed her out of my earnings. A really nice gift. It was a new purse. And the purse, from when we first started buying that purse, the purse has doubled in price. So the first purse I bought her, and y'all, I want to be transparent and just share this so you understand. Like, I ain't just giving to the world. I bless and take care of my wife, but you do have haters and people who be jealous, and they be, comparing blessings and lifestyle and all of that. Well, I bought her this purse when I think she was 25. I think she turned 25, and I bought her this purse. And now she is not 1,000% sure her age, but I think she's 39. And I know y'all ladies don't like people share your age, but this is just for the teaching's sake. And so the purse has doubled. It was more than double, because I had to pay taxes too. First time I bought a purse, I was in New York City at Bergdorf, so I ain't have to pay taxes. So the purse done more than doubled in price. And I'm like, whoa, man, I should have bought some more of these for myself to sell. Like, my goodness. I mean, it's a long time for it to, mature to that point, but still. So I say that to say, my wife supports me because she know I'm a giver, and she know I'm gonna do. Like, I got home from the airport, we got out of there about 1:50. I had to drive an hour to drop a player off. Now I'm driving back like an hour and 15 or whatever, hour and a half. I still got 44 minutes left on my ride. My phone might cut off before I get home if it overheat or something, because I got it plugged in. So I say that to say, my wife, she know my heart, and I'm trying to give you something, because now God done put me into the insurance industry, and the experts in the industry, the people who got me in it, they telling me that my agency, may earn $1 million in the next 12 months. But if that happens, that's only God. Even if it don't happen though, it's still gonna earn something. But that's only God. And so I'm like, here we are in a recession and we getting ready to go through, and I'm giving. I'm pouring out. Well, this one weekend, probably anywhere from 13,000 and up. I got to do all the numbers or what have you, because I guesstimated 20 to 30,000. So I say that to say, and it's all expense paid for the families. So when you look at this thing and you see, okay, God pressed it upon my heart to do this in the middle of a recession, but then he give me a new company in the insurance industry, and then give me the wherewithal to sit my behind down and study for the exam and to go take the test. And I talked to a guy today who's in the insurance industry, and he got his 240 license, and I told him I got my 215. We're in Florida, and he said, man, the 215 is one of the hardest ones to get. And I said, oh, really? All right, yeah. Well, got him. And so now, and yeah, I'm splitting 50-50 with, the seasoned agents that's writing up the policies, for my supporters, because I don't want to go in there as a newbie just because I passed the test and got a license and assume I know more than what I do, and then have, raggedy policy. So I get on the Zoom call and I'm listening in to what's being done and making sure that they being legitimate and doing the right thing and doing what's best for you, and not just seeing my audience as dollar signs and trying to just put you in different stuff that you don't need. So I'm paying attention to that, and I let them know that, and I'm training them, even though that they have been doing it for years. I'm training them on how to deal with my people, on how to take care of my people. And I don't care how you do it, this how we gonna take care of my people, because we family. And so click the link in the description if you need insurance. We now getting booked into May. I'm seeing bookings come into May now from accountant, because I book it an hour at a time, because it takes us an hour. So we spending an hour helping people figure out what's the best policy for them, and they might not even sign up. They might not even get a policy. And then, or might get the policy and let it lapse. You know how we is. You know how black folks is, man. Don't try to act like you don't. And so that's a lot. And so whatever the insurer pay us and bless us with, hey, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Whatever the insurer bless us with, it is a blessing. And I'm gonna be happy about it. And so I thank you for signing up for a policy. We helping each other. Now you cover your family good. If the Lord call you home, you ain't got to worry about them burning you up in the backyard. You get sent home nice, and your next of kin, whether you got kids, spouse, or whoever, get them a nice little check, and they able to remember you and see that you left them an inheritance. And then at the same time, the insurer blesses us as insurance agents. They bless us with a little commission for bringing them business they wouldn't have otherwise had. That's how it works. And so one hand wash the other, both hands wash the face. But look at what the Lord did in the middle of a recession. So where one stream of income may drop off, the Lord say, here goes another. Here go the ram in the bush. And that's what I want you to understand about this. What I'm trying to teach you is, when your mindset changes, when you stop being greedy, when you stop being selfish, when you stop being combative, when you stop comparing, when you stop doing all of those things, and you release and you let go and you let God, and you embody a heart after the Lord, man, buddy, walking along the highway, and you embody a heart after the Lord, God is going to elevate you to his level of living. So I love the Lord and I represent the Lord. So when I'm talking to these young men, and I told them today, I say, listen, because they played a sorry game, their first game, because they stayed up too late. And some of them overslept, and some of them was 30 minutes late getting down. And so I had to get with them about that and teach them a life lesson about gratitude, about promptness, about structure, discipline. And I told them, I said, listen, I don't get drunk, I don't smoke, I don't curse, I don't gamble, I don't watch porn, I don't masturbate. I say, to get to the place to where I can afford to bring y'all on a trip like this, all expense paid, and it ain't costing you nothing. For me to get to this place to where I can have a 501c3, have donors, and have the money to put in where we short, because the blessing that I got, the $20,000 check, only 5,000 of it cleared. So that helped us a lot. That helped us a lot now. But I've been having to do myself as well. And so I had to explain that to them, of what it takes to get to that place to where you could do something like that, with the hopes that one day it's gonna hit them. It might not hit them now, but one day it's gonna hit them. And when it hit them, they're gonna be like, wow, okay, I get it, what he was trying to tell me. I see what he meant now. And they're gonna forever be calling me and reaching out and talking to me, because I have guys calling me that I had a far less relationship with. Like I just gave one speech to their team or whatever, and they call me still for advice or support or what have you. So these guys that I'm around, getting on planes with, I know they gonna be calling me, and I'll forever be connected to these guys. And I believe some of them will go to the NBA, and they'll, you know, do their thing. And so, and whether they give back to me or not, you know, to the organization, or remember what I did for them or anything, you know, that's between them and God. But as painful as it is, and when I say painful, it could be painful when you giving and you giving and you serving and you serving, and you don't necessarily, you can't see somebody gratitude. You don't really know if they grateful. You don't really know if they thankful. You can't really tell. And we haven't been raised to show gratitude. So we don't, like a lot, like white people, they have the luxury and the brain space to think about getting a card that says thank you for what you've done. Like, white people will give you a card for giving them a card. If you give them a card for their birthday, they give you a card to say thank you for giving me a card. Black people will take your card, take your car, take your gas, take your food, your clothes, and your money, and mumble thank you. Because we come from scarcity and survival. So we don't even have the thought or the bandwidth or the mindset to say thank you. Now I got one player on my team, two that say thank you. But they kind of all to say thank you. But one player on my team in my program, he randomly thanked me. He'll thank me, you know, just like middle of the day. Hey coach, I just want to say thanks again for everything. And I don't know where that be coming from. I don't know if his mama be telling him to say, hey, text coach right now and say thank you. Or if it just hit him. It he just comparing of like what I'm doing for him versus what other black men in his life have done. And so I don't know what it is, but he'll just do that. But I say that to say, you know, that could be painful. And I want you to think about that. Think about it right now. If you take and you raise thousands, and then you give those thousands away, like you don't put yourself on salary. Like I'm not on salary through my nonprofit. Like nobody's on salary. We don't have a salary. We pay consultants, not consultants, what you call it, like independent contractors or somebody like the driver driving the boys. The driver will get a little check like that, but it's not a salary. And so no W-2 or nothing like that. Not even 1099. And so I say that to say, to taking that money, it goes to, that money taken go to this group and to the parents, and then sometimes you don't even know if they thankful, or if they just looking at you like, oh, he just rich, or oh, he just got a following so he able to do this, and oh, he just doing this for his ego, or oh, he just doing this because he want his name out there. And let me tell you something else. It's another thing that's a blessing, and it's just so, it's so God, to where my players in my program, this is a mentorship program, and my players is all over the internet for basketball, and on their jerseys say TGE. And guess what? This is our first summer. So a guy came up to us and he was like, man, who is your team? Like, what is, like, are y'all new here? Where y'all from? And I was like, Lakeland, Tampa. And he was like, I'm looking. He was like, I've been around the scene for a long time. I know a lot of people. And I'm like, who the F are these guys? And like, yeah, new kids on the block, TGE. I said, yes, our first summer. And just to see, like, I've come into this basketball space with this program, this mentorship program, and now my name, and I want y'all to understand now, I ain't bragging, I'm boasting in the Lord, like the Bible say. I'm telling you about the goodness of God. People who have been in the basketball industry for the last 20 years have not been able to garner the attention and the media and the hoopla and the hoorah that God has blessed my team with in the last, in a month. We've been able to do in a month what people ain't been able to do in 20 years. We've been able to do in 4 months, because the team got started like December. So in like 4 months, we've been able to do, in 4 months now, we've been able to do what guys I know who been in coaching in basketball for more than a decade ain't been able to do. Start a team in their name and have a team come together, and God brought the team together. I ain't do nothing for it. God brought the team together to be a blessing, and I don't know if I keep it forever or I'll always have a mentorship program. I don't know if basketball will always be a part of it. I will always have a mentorship program. And we may always use basketball as a tool. It may not always be a travel team. Because, see, I go by God will, not my will. I go by God plan. This ain't about my ego. This is about God, what God want me to do. So, and I know what God want me to do, he's going to provide. Like the lady told me who donated. And I believe the lady donated $2,000. One of y'all on here from a YouTube supporter, the lady donated $2,000, and she said, if it's God's will, it's God's bill. Lord, bless her right now, Lord. Pour out in her life right now, Lord. Whatever she got going on, Lord, heal her, make her whole, Lord. Heal her, Lord. Show up and show out like never before in her life. Because she ain't have to do that. She ain't have to do that. In one lump sum. One donation, $2,000, boom. She ain't have to do that. And so, and I had a couple other people do that. A couple other people did that. And you can't tell me that's not God. and to be able to help the youth. Not just grown folks, but to be able to help the youth who need it the most. And for these young black men to see a black man doing this, who don't, live crazy. Because see, we used to seeing dope boys do this. Like when we grew up, when dope game was booming, the dope boys would be the givers. The dope boys would be the philanthropists. And so it just sent a mixed message, because it's like, okay, you doing good, you giving me money, or you paying for my basketball team, or you doing whatever, but your money, you got blood on your hands. So if I want to be successful, I gotta go be a drug dealer, because the only successful black man that I know is a drug dealer. So now they getting to see a successful black man who doesn't sell drugs. And that right there is the difference. And so I want you to understand that about what we doing over here. And then I want you to be inspired to go do that over there where you at, your own program, your own nonprofit, and get that right there together. And if you don't know how to start a 501c3, we'll do it for you. We'll get it started for you. Yeah, it's gonna cost you a little bit, but you can get it done for $1,000 or less, pretty much. And then boom, be able to go out and raise funds from all your friends and family, and then deploy those funds into doing the Lord's work. And so the 501c3 is the church. Churches are 501c3s, and this is what we're supposed to be doing. That's what bring all to the storehouse mean. It means you bring it all to the storehouse, and then you divide it amongst God's people. Not bring it all to the storehouse and then go get an Escalade, G-Wagon, Rolls Royce, and a private jet. You bring it all to the storehouse, and then you disperse it amongst God's people. And God's people, not necessarily meaning just Christians, but meaning humans that God have created. So all the people in my program may not be devout Christians. I don't fully know their faith, but one thing they're gonna know is my faith. And I'm gonna infuse my faith, and they gonna know that this is all provided by Jesus Christ. I don't know who you serve and what you believe in, what you don't believe in, but what I believe in is Jesus Christ, and that's who I pray to, and that's how this is coming about. So I'm not sure your relationship with Christ, or what you may be blaming Christ for, whatever wrong is going on or have happened in your life, but I'm here to tell you that my God can do no wrong now. That my God is a just God. And if you rocking with him, he rocking with you. And God is showing up and showing out, and he blessing it, and he doing things, and I want you to understand that it come from living righteous. See, it's willing sinners want to preach about grace because they don't want to do the work. But the Bible tells us that if we are faithful, if we diligent, if we live for Christ, he will bless us and make us successful. He will bless us and make us rich. The Bible tells us that. Now, that rich could mean something other than what people try to make it mean. But you got to get in your word. And I read that not long ago, and I said, oh, wow, this specifically, I can't remember what book it was now, because I'd be reading, being fed, and I don't be reading to necessarily teach. But it said that if you diligent and faithful to God, like you keep his commandments, you live for God, that God will take and bless you, that he'll make you rich, is what I gather from it. And I don't necessarily look at it as just money. I see it as abundance, meaning your cattle, your sheep, your fruit, your land, whatever it may be that you need in your space, in your place, in your time, so that the people know the hand of God is upon that family. the hand of God is upon that person, so that people can look and see that it's God. And I'm finna start preaching more on this and doing Instagram shorts and TikToks and just sharing that everything I got and everything I'm doing. And anybody, if you ever look at me and you wonder and you say, how did he do that? If you ever look at me and you wonder and you say, well, how can he work for himself? How can his wife not have to work a job? How can this? How can that? How can that? Jesus Christ. If you ever was confused, if you did not know Jesus Christ, you better get to know him. Open your Bible, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Read a chapter a day, 2 chapters a day, 3 chapters a day, 5 chapters a day. Whatever you can digest, read it and live it. Accept Christ into your heart and live it. I'm telling you, I'm giving you a key to victory, to salvation, to peace, to prosperity, to blessings and favor and humility and strength and patience and temperance and compassion, love, peace, power, sound mind. I'm giving you the key. I'm giving you the key. What you've gone through, what has hurt you, had nothing to do with Christ. It could have had everything to do with life. Life has pain. And I'm nowhere near. I have squandered and messed up and done wrong by the blessing that God has given me. But you know what? God understands. God knows what ignorance is. A lot of people don't realize that God knows what ignorance is, and he knows when we are ignorant in the literal sense of the word. God knows when we are unlearned and ignorant, and he gives us grace. And with that grace, he gives us an opportunity, and he allows us to go through. So the pain and the tough times when we lose things and we suffer the wrong, it's God allowing us to go through so that it can prune us and prepare us for what he's about to do next. So the Lord has shown me the error of my ways and shown me what I need to sew up, what I need to tighten up, so that he can really pour out, so that he can really do in my life what he wants to do. He say, you got to show me that you can be trusted. You got to show me that you can be faithful. You got to show me. You got to show me. And so that's what the Lord is saying. And so I'm looking and I'm saying, wow, okay. Okay. All right, Lord. And when I sit with the Lord and I'm still, I see the vision. I was talking to one of the dads of the program, and he was like, you can hear from God? I said, yeah. I said, I hear from God in stillness when I'm quiet. He said, I'm still working on that. He said, I'm still trying to hear from God. But see, the thing about God is a lot of times people want to hear an audible voice. God lays the steps. Like if you meant to do it, he paves the way. Like, but see, the thing about it is it requires faith, because God don't do it on your time. He do it on his time. So what footed the bill today was the $5,000 that cleared. It was $5,000 that cleared. That's what footed the bill. But look what happened. The whole kit and caboodle didn't clear, because God said you need to use the rest of that to book next trip and get it for the low. Get next trip for the low ASAPula. You know who going, you know the core who going, so book that ASAPula and get it for the low. And then around that you can add to it. Your fringe players and the ones you're not sure about, you can add to it. And so that's the thing right there. And So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. And realize it's all God. And so ask God to purify your heart. Say, Lord, cleanse my heart. Say, Lord, I'm asking you, Lord Jesus, to come into my heart and cleanse my heart, Lord. Lord, rid me of iniquity. Rid me of hate. Rid me of jealousy. Rid me of anger. Rid me of backbiting. Rid me of unforgiveness. Holding a grudge. Lord, rid me of these things. See, people think that you got to speak in tongues, you got to dance, you got to have olive oil. All you got to do is talk to the Lord. All you got to do is ask the Lord in the name of Jesus. Ask the Lord and he will deliver. So I say, Lord, give me the faith, Lord. Give me the grace. Give me the pace. Give me the place. Give me the strength to do, the wisdom to do what you call me to do, Lord. Lord, give me the favor, Lord. Give me the favor so that people can see that your hand is in this. Like the Under Armour people told me that they never have done what they did for my program. The schedule they gave us and how they, talking to us and treating, they say they ain't never done that. And I say, look at them. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. So think about that. Think about that. Think about that. It's God. It's God. So I want you to realize and understand. See, I done talked the whole hour. That's the Lord. That's the Lord. For us to have an hour-long conversation while I'm driving. That's the Lord. Wisdom comes from God. To be able to extract lessons from life and teach your next of kin. Right now, you my next of kin. That's from the Lord. See, a lot of people don't realize it. People up, getting ready. They up, out, going to work. 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just not going home. My body's starting to break down. And then guess what? The first insurance call in the morning is 9 a.m. Hey, when y'all sign up for these calls, double put it in your calendar. Because what's happening is we moving people around. So we got people coming out of their office, coming out of their appointments, coming out of what they got going on to get on the phone with my people. And so when y'all is no-shows, because you just, click the link and grab the time, if you don't see a time that work for you, send me an email and say, Tony, none of the times work for me. Can you talk on this day at this time? And even if I can't be on there, like with my face, showing my face, I could be on there listening and have one of them, or at least pop in, let them know that I'm watching, the agent, let them know, hey, I'm watching you, take care of my folk. But I can have one of the agents on with you to get you the best policy for you. So we gon', 6 days a week, we rest on the Lord's Day, but 6 days a week, we working. And we working around because we trying to insure America. We got over 500,000 people on YouTube we got to get in position. Have them insured at the least, but would love to get you in a wealth building vehicle, the IUL, or help you do a rollover, protect them funds at that 401k while your homeboy in there, tanking the market left and right, up and down. It's going up and down. And so y'all understand that, like, this is real. organization now. It's a real company. So don't y'all just be clicking scheduled time and then don't be showing up now. And so think about that now. And realize that I ain't bragging to you. I'm boasting in the Lord and just telling you how good God is. I got to give the Lord the credit and the glory, the favor that He has given me. And I ain't giving Him no favor, you know what I mean, though. Meaning giving Him the credit for the favor. And I'm seeing it in every aspect of life. Now, it's still a lot that I have to, in business and all of that, still a lot of structure I'm working on and developing. And God is giving me grace. He's giving me time to get it together. He said, before you become $100 million man and you can open these learning centers for the inner city youth yourself out your own pocket, without having to raise a donation, before you get to them, I need you to sew up this, sew up that, do this, do that. And I'm blessing you with this so you could do this. And when I bless you with this, make sure you do this. And so He'll put on my spirit what need to be done. And I hear it, I feel it in this time that has happened, and I still have failed the test and went and did something else. Went and took care of other stuff, didn't take care of what I know was put on my spirit to take care of. But as I'm growing and I'm maturing and I'm learning, getting older, getting wiser, getting stronger, but I'm not gonna lock the doors on you and make you give 40,000. But I am getting stronger and wiser and better. And so as I'm doing that, and looking upon the Lord and all He's done for me, I can only see that He is showing me exactly what to do. He lay it out to you right in the stillness in your spirit. He lay it right on out to you. So if you did not know, I want you to know God is good. But see, the thing about it is, I talk to people and they'll be like, yeah, I believe in God, I love God, I go to church every Sunday. I'm like, but you don't trust Him, because you panicking, you worrying, like you scared. Like what are you talking about? Like everything you want to do, you got something negative to say about it. You scared to get insurance because you don't want somebody to do nothing with your personal information. You scared of somebody, so you think somebody finna sit down and study countless hours to go take and pass a test to do something with your personal information and risk their freedom. If that was the case, they could just went straight to being a scammer and a drug dealer. And then you think somebody like me gonna risk my brand, risk my business, risk my family by working with people who gonna do something like that? But see, then that fear talk you right out of it. Oh, I wanna become an insurance agent, but I ain't got the time. I'm in school to. So here it is, the founder of the company that made over $100 million selling insurance, and you in school to do what? Go make 30,000, 70,000, 100,000 when you could walk down the street and insure your whole neighborhood and earn 6 figures. So you studying for the wrong test. What is that test finna pay you? Unless it's your purpose. But helping other people build generational wealth is your purpose too. And secure their family, that's a good deed. You're doing good work. So you got to realize you got to get out your head. Stop talking yourself out of everything. Of the book you want to write, the company you want to start, and all of this right here. Stop talking yourself out of it. And be okay having that. Be okay with that being the way it works out. Y'all forgive me, gotta keep talking. I'm starting to fall asleep. Taking some long blanks and waking up, going across the line. So I realized at 4 o'clock at that time that my body gonna start to shut down. Because the other day I got home about this time. And because I had to go deliver the gear. Remember I did the video, I don't know if I even released the video, but I did the video and I was delivering the gear. And I don't even know if my phone was asleep. I don't even know if I got any text messages yet or my folks being home. Like at this point, I might as well try to find me a 24-hour McDonald's and get me a breakfast sandwich. And so, think about this now. And get it in your spirit of what we're going to need. And how we got to grow. And what we got to do. And the thing about it is, if you ain't got your vision yet, if you ain't got it yet, then support somebody else's vision. And yes, I would gladly accept your support over on mine, Tony Gaston Family Foundation. But if you know somebody and you close with them and you see they doing the right thing and they honest and transparent, then yeah, go ahead and be a blessing. Be a blessing. Y'all forgive me. I am passing out. My eyes literally trying to close on me. I got to keep talking now. Lord, let me get home safely. I got to keep talking. And see, the thing is, the other day, right, I'm out serving. I'm out passing out the gear and all of that to my players. I fell asleep on the road about 10 times. I'm waking up, swerving off the road. Like, not off the road, but like going into the next lane. Or about to run into a bike or a car, like coming up on a car. But it was just like, I blanked out. It was like my body just went to sleep. And on the back of me serving, on the back end of me serving and being a blessing doing the Lord's work. So you see what I'm saying? Is that how that thing work out sometimes? It's like being a servant. You don't think God is gonna honor that? What did Jesus say? He said the greatest among us is the servant. Being a servant. I'm trying to tell you, being a servant. I had a phone call the other day with one of the parents for 3 hours. And then not long before that, last week, I had a phone call with another parent for 3 hours. With my schedule now, I'm booked to the high heavens. From the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, my schedule is packed. It's a brother who's been trying to connect with me every day. Brother, you got some time for a Zoom? Unfortunately, I don't. Because I only got the time for my program right now and my insurance agency, my one-on-one coaching, my YouTube, for the projects that God got me doing. That's all I got the time for right now. That's all I got the time. And I know it's hard for people to understand, like, yeah, I don't even have 15 minutes. If it's not part of the ministry and what I'm doing overall, holistically. Look, my eyes shutting. And while I'm talking, my eyes shutting. Wow. Man, I'm glad my wife about to have to get up. She get up in 26 minutes. For some reason, she like to wake up at 4:30, but says she like to have a piece of quiet, get stuff done, but cause I'm like, boy, I'm finna be in here hollering, boy. I'm finna be snoring. I'm finna sound like a locomotive. The express train. You get me? Boy, look here, tired as I'm here. And then what happened, I got a phone call the other day. Doggone phone, somebody was calling me. So I'm like, messing my sleep up. So I'm going home and I'm turning my phone off. There's finna be no alarm. So if you my 9 o'clock, hey, hope my team got you now. I'm finna be sleeping. They finna be writing me, hey Tony, we need to do this, we need to do that. Child, please. I got home 4:05. Child, I was asleep. And then let me tell y'all about these young men. Now, hey, all the important links is in the description. They want to do a tournament in Atlanta this weekend, but I'll say, Listen, the way the funds is funding now, y'all gonna have to calm down now. Y'all gonna have to calm down. June, they want to do balling on the beach in Miami. So if you know a chef in Miami, if we get an Airbnb, but no, they want to get a hotel. I'm looking for me a Marriott worker. Give me some discounted rooms now. Come on now, hire somebody. Somebody got somebody working in that hotel industry now. Y'all got to start hating on a brother. Give him a little bit of that discount now. And so, you know, here we are. And I'm seeing these boys on this trip. I mean, they just screaming, hollering, laughing. I mean, having the absolute greatest time in the world. I got one player. This boy is such a ball of joy. And he's sensitive too. He get his feelings hurt. He get his feelings hurt, and when his feelings hurt, man, it'll affect him. But he is. I mean, just really love these guys, man. Like, and I wish that I can afford to take all 11 of them on every trip, but it's just gonna depend on what my donor's doing. That's why I trust the Lord. That's why I don't put a price on it and say, hey guys, we gotta hit 50,000. No, I just say the link is in the description. If the Lord bless you or touch your heart to be a blessing, then please do. And then that right there, what is raised, and then what I earn in my life will show me what can be afforded. And so if the budget say only 5 guys could go, then that's all gonna go. If the budget say 7 could go, okay. If the budget say 10 could go, or 11, okay. And then what parents can go? What does the budget say? If the budget say, the player and one of their parents can go, flights, hotel, and what's it called? Then okay, cool. That's what the budget say. And that's what we're gonna do, if that's what the budget say. Oh Lord, is my mother-in-law here? But see, when I be out of town, my mother-in-law be here, and I don't be knowing. So where am I gonna park at? Because he got to park the Sprinter, so he not back in the Sprinter yet. And then he parked and took my space. Oh Lord, this finna throw a monkey wrench. And if we park in the street, they gonna be trying to put a ticket on my car. And then I can't park behind him. I can't take the Sprinter parking space. I tell you what, yes I am. I'm gonna pull all the way up and just tell him to pull all the way up behind me. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do, and I just move the Sprinter in. Hey, made it home, gotta get in here. I don't know why my mother-in-law over here. Oh, that ain't my mother-in-law, that's my son's car. Okay, I thought it was my mother-in-law car. My son's car, he don't know how to pull all the way into the driveway because he don't want to scrape the side of the mirror of the driveway. But hey, God bless you. We'll be in touch. I thank you for sticking with me on this ride home. You kept me alive, made it home. The Lord kept me alive, but you helped me. And just being able to talk to you. So God bless you. And listen, all the important links in the description. And ironically, guess what? If you use the coupon code Friday70, Friday and the number 70, you get 70% off your next course on Tony Gaston Academy, because I still have not gotten into the system and changed it. So just a little heads up for you. But hey, God bless you. And we'll talk soon. But I was about to tell you, I love you. If you donate to the foundation to help me do what I'm doing with these boys, yeah, I do love you. Yeah, the rest of you, the Lord love you. Hey, keep your head up. God bless you. We'll talk soon.